Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Roger Gilbert reporting for Milling and Grain magazine. I'm in the Rongorongo live video studio, and we're going to be talking today about conveyors. There has been a survey in the United States about the state of conveying. 214 companies have been questioned about their conveyor preferences, and we are fortunate enough to have the company representatives from the company Cablevey join us today to discuss a little bit of detail behind that survey. Now, Cablevey, as we all know, is a manufacturer of conveyors in the grain processing industry, and it felt that this survey would give us an insight into the industry, particularly in the food processing sector, as to where the conveyor technology is heading. This afternoon, I have with me two representatives from Cablevey, and welcome both Morgan and Scott. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello there. Can you tell me a little bit about the survey and what the response has been? Who has responded to it?
Sure. So the survey was done. Cablevey Conveyors, or we commissioned a third-party research firm to perform the study for us. This was just so there wasn't any bias on our conveyor. We wanted a real-life look at what are people using now, what are they needing out of the conveyor, what might make one change to a different conveying solution. So we really just wanted to get a good overview state of the industry. There hasn't been a survey like this in the industry before, and we hope to do this every year to keep a running update of what is going on in the conveying, what would be the conveying industry, primarily the food processing industry and the conveying sector of that industry. So like you had said earlier, we had 214 responses, and these were from plant operations managers, engineering, executive managers. So it really encompassed the whole company-wide view of the conveying. And it was, right now, it was just done domestically here in the United States, but we hope to spread it out globally as we go forward. Yeah, I think that's the gist of the survey.
Yeah, a bit of background there, but what are the key findings?
So the survey, we segmented into three different parts, and that was the industry outlook, and then conveying challenges, and then the analysis of conveying systems. So I'll kind of give a key finding in each main part. So in the industry outlook, this was more about the food processing industry itself. It could also include, pet food processing as well. So the food processing industry we have seen is experiencing significant growth. 60% of the businesses that responded experienced over a 10% growth within the last year. The efficiency of the conveying systems has a significant impact on the organization's bottom line. One of the questions that we asked was, how satisfied are you with your conveying system? So 40% of the respondents were satisfied with their conveying system, and those 40% experienced over 20% reported growth within the last year. So it kind of correlates that if you're satisfied with your conveying system, those businesses are growing at an even faster rate. So that was kind of our industry outlook overview. And then we went into conveying challenges, specifically in the industry. And the top three conveying challenges, or challenges overall, were the supply chain issues that we're having. I know we're having them in the United States, so I'm assuming that's happening all over the world. The shifts in customer demand and preferences, and I believe that's primarily due to COVID. When that happened, a lot of people started going out less and eating at home more, and that's causing a shift in customer demand. And then product shortage is also an industry challenge. The conveying challenges, those are cleaning and maintenance, downtime. The conveyors need to be run more often because the demand for material or products is higher, and energy consumption. And then the last part of the survey, the analysis of the conveying system, that was what is the main factor people are looking for in a conveying system right now that are purchasing new conveyors, And energy efficiency actually ranked number one as one of the most, not concerns, but one of the primary reasons to choose a conveying solution is its energy efficiency. And then there's the product breakage or product degradation, and those were probably the top two challenges or two analysis of the conveying system that we've seen. So now I'm going to turn it over to Scott, and he can tell us what he's seen in the testing center and if any of those are translating into real life situations.
Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, I would say all of those definitely line up with all the things I see in the testing lab with my customers line up with the survey results. I would say cleaning and maintenance and integrity of materials are probably the top challenges that people have. It seems like so many of the customers that come to me face challenges because of outdated equipment or improperly selected equipment. I believe that energy efficiency is probably a big consideration. However, in the test lab, nobody's there coming to look at energy. They're coming to look at breakage. They're coming to look at cleaning. They're coming to look at ease of maintenance, things of that nature.
Well, I mean, what struck me when you said, Morgan, that people with conveying problems or without conveying problems were most likely to show growth. I mean, is this really sort of an association between the two, do you think, or do you think it's just an anomaly in the survey result? Do you think it's really accurate that a company should look at its conveying system and think, well, I've got to get that right in order to possibly enhance our company's growth? I mean, is there association there that's quite strong?
I would say yes, because if your conveying system is down, then your whole operation is down. And depending on what you output each day, that is money lost every minute, every hour, every second that your conveyor is down. I don't know if you would elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, not only that, it's all the ease of maintenance is a big thing. So, everybody that has their other challenges in maintenance, the ease of maintenance is a big thing, because I've had customers that came in. I had one customer that came in that was using an auger, and he had two different products. One was a buttermilk flavored product, and one was a Fiesta like flavored product. And his current method of cleaning in between those two materials required taking a great big auger out that required 5 people. And not only that, it was very heavy, somewhat dangerous, potential for some kind of an accident if things aren't done correctly. And when I had him in the lab, just consequently, I just got done having a shoulder breakage from a bicycle accident. And I walked over to the conveyor and I showed him that what took 5 people 5 hours in his current method, a one-armed man can do in 30 minutes with our conveyor. So.
Right. A good example. But what, did you find in the survey anything coming up about, other than energy, possibly, about an environmental impact that conveying might have, where we're all aware of CO2 reduction, we're also aware of energy usage or minimising the usage of energy, etc. Does that come through loud and clear that we should be focusing on these types of things as well?
I would say I can really only relate it to the energy efficiency, because that's kind of the question that we asked, or geared towards the energy usage. I was actually really surprised. I know that internationally we have an international agent, and that's always been a big deal internationally, is the energy efficiency. But I was surprised to see that at the top of the list domestically here in the U.S. Cleaning and maintenance were right below it, but energy efficiency was number one. So it's telling me, we always talk about our conveyor being very energy efficient. It uses a much lower horsepower motor than other conveying solutions. But to see that is a top concern here in the U.S. is telling me that energy usage, prices are getting higher. I don't really, do you have anything to add to that, or the CO2? I'm not sure.
Not really, because like I said, the customers that come to visit, they already know ahead of time what kind of horsepower motors our conveyors use. So they're not coming to my lab to view energy usage. They're coming to my lab to make sure that, we're a good fit and that any of their requirements get met and exceed what they're currently doing or not.
Yeah.
So, it's my job is just to make sure that it's a good application for the customer and a good application for us at Cablevey. So.
Well, finally, what are the take-home messages for the industries that we represent, and that's milling and grain, pet food and aquafeed? Are there any key take-home messages for those readers of ours?
I wouldn't say there's any key things that people need to do. The survey was more just to provide information for the industry as a whole. We wanted to show, you have your challenges at your own companies. Here's what here is the industry as a whole. Here are challenges that these companies are facing. Here's what they're looking for in a conveying solution. Can this help you when you're ready to make a decision to switch conveying solutions? We wanted to be able to provide a little bit of a guideline on this is what people are looking at when they're switching or upgrading their conveyors, and the industry as a whole and what's going on outside of just conveying, but the supply chain issues that we're all experiencing and the shifts in customer demand. So really it's just more of an informational guideline.
And is the survey results freely available?
They are. If you go to our website, www.cablevey.com, and go to our resources tab, it's the first white paper on there, it's called, and you click on that and it'll pull up the entire survey. There's much more in the survey that we've talked about here today. And it's a very good piece of content if you're in the market for a new conveyor, upgrading the conveyor, just want to know about conveying.
Yeah. Well, Morgan and Scott, thank you very, very much for joining us today. I mean, it's a real insight into an area that we often overlook, and it's good to have a broad spectrum of views on what's happening in the conveying sector as part of the industry. And I'd just like to say I'm already looking forward to next year's survey and noticing what the differences are. But thank you very, very much. Okay, thank you for both joining us today. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.